So we talk a lot about social media, and a lot of us, I think we really feel like we don't have anything outside of social media, right? We don't really take the time to explore the world beyond what we scrolling on our phones to see. So, to really catch our attention nowadays, it seems like our generation, we really have to, be immersed in some sort of technology, some social media, plug, something creative, right? But then beyond that, we don't really expand the way that we see this platform. Having a platform like the Emphatic Truth has allowed me, you know, to pour into young men, women, older people, and especially the youth. And I feel like anybody who has a platform, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, or whatever the case may be, to use it for their betterment, for their empowerment, to empower the people that so-called follow you. And my whole thinking is, if I have a follower, if I have over 3,000 followers or whatever the case may be, and they're dependent on my content for their daily information or whatever reason that they're following me for, maybe we friends. I want to be feeling like I'm being, a good friend or good influence in their life. I want to feel like I'm actually adding value to their life. So what I try to do specifically on, my business page is post things that I feel not only is going to grasp the community's attention, college age students and the youth, but also history. And a lot of times we don't really understand the history, the historical context of the content that we may see. So we see, a meme, but then instantaneously we grasp this whole, other reality that may or may not be true. So what I really tell people is, to study, to liberate your own self. Don't study to debate with nobody. Don't try to be, the most woke person in the world or whatever the case may be. This stuff is really something that you can't really explain. It's something that you have to live. And that's what, the Emphatic Truth is really about. It's a social media platform, but also a lifestyle brand where you have to live this stuff. You have to be, immersed, in your culture. You have to want to, talk to people who look like you and not have to walk around with a mean mug or feel like, someone is out to get you at times. And that perception is oftentimes, laid upon us just from birth, the way that we grow up, the way that we, view the world, and the way that we're taught to view the world from our own, lens. But we don't know that the way that we're taught to view the world is our reality, So that's what I really, want everybody to understand and really take the time out to really appreciate, the internet, the source of information, the way that we have, the access to so much information, and what are we really doing with it? What are we really, gaining from all of this? You have your Instagram. Instagram came out, probably 4 or 5, about 6 years ago now. I think I was a sophomore in college or a freshman in college when Instagram came out. And now to see, the evolution of Instagram climb from like a MySpace status to now this, big following where even Facebook is becoming a non-use app, a non-use website, messenger. Nobody's using Facebook. People are, barely hanging on to Snapchat. So you're looking at Instagram as this really like big influence in our community. And what I really don't see, is it being used for, our empowerment just amongst our own community. So if I have a source, I feel like I can give discounts to, my followers. If I feel like I can host a happy hour, host a workshop, just to gain some collaboration, do some events type of thing. I want to feel like I have that backing from people who quote unquote follow me. And the thing that we don't have in the Black community that also translates into social media is support. support, for one another businesses, support for one another ideas, support for one another, creativity and ingenuity that our generation is filled with. And that's something that has to be changed, and it has to start with, your own immediate, your immediate self. I always say, and it's always told to me, make sure you're looking at, yourself in the mirror first. And what I want to make sure that I do is use my platform as a source of information and a source of enlightenment that has helped, broaden my understanding of who I am, and what I'm supposed to do. And hopefully, and as it has been in the recent, years, from just the blog and what has evolved with the business side of things, I'm appreciative of this social media platform. But I definitely encourage a lot of, my friends, family, whoever, is on that social media grind, to make sure you're getting something out of it. It's not just, satisfying you or giving you gratification, or you feel like you validated, because you got your 300th like, that stuff cut off today in the mall, like MySpace, when you had your top 10, top 8, or your top 5 or whatever, you thought you was cool, you thought you was in. All that shit gone. You see what I'm saying? And when it's gone, what do you really have? And that's what it's really going to, come down to, what conquers, what profits of a man to gain his whole world and lose his soul. And, so many of us Bible believers or whatever, we call ourselves religious or whatever the case may be. If we're not living by that quote, your life is a joke. You see what I'm saying? Because then you out here manipulating who you are and what you're supposed to be doing for the likes and pleasure for other people who may or may not even really like you. So that's what I really learned in all of that as well. So y'all stay blessed. Y'all be blessed. And make sure y'all follow us at The Emphatic Truth, Instagram, Facebook, at The Emphatic Truth. Peace.